my toys.
Hey everybody, it's D Hunter bringing another action figure review. Today we're going to be looking at the Neca Aliens Space Marine Apone Kenner tribute figure. This is a version of Apone that is going to be an homage to the original Kenner action figure that I had when I was a kid. We're in the early 90s, probably 92, 93 type area. They don't believe that Kenner ever had the likeness rights to Apone's actor, and so they made their own sort of version of it, although their entire universe of Marines were their completely own universe. Some believe it to be based off an animated show that never happened, but I believe that to be proven as false. Neca also has not secured the likeness rights to Apone, but in my opinion this guy looks pretty similar to Al Matthews. So of course you may notice I have two of these figures. My plan was to try to take one of their heads and maybe make a custom Apone figure. I already have a custom Apone figure, but I thought this might be better. I was probably going to get two of him anyway, but the radio piece on his head is probably going to make that pretty much impossible. So let's check out the packaging here. At the top we've got the Aliens logo, just like the second film. Then we've got the actual Apone figure in here. He's got his sort of robotic enhancement to his arm. He's got, I don't know, a grenade or something he can throw. The original Kenner figure had an action feature where you could sort of twist him around and it would fling him back and he'd be able to throw this item. Then he comes with some sort of shotgun looking thing. So, Space Marine Apone, no bugs. Always funny calling the aliens bugs. Clearly this unit of Marines in the Kenner toys are experienced alien fighters. Dark Horse comic book, probably the same as the original version. Bunch of nothing on the bottom. And on the back side we've got checklists for other action figures. Of course we've got Apone pictured here. The 3 Alien vs. Predator arcade aliens. 3 Alien vs. Predator arcade predators. A bunch of Predator Kenner figures. And a bunch of Alien Kenner figures. Neither one of these is the complete Kenner set for either Alien or Predator. There are tons that are not pictured, especially with the Predators. So, now with no further ado, let's go ahead and open this guy up. It's been a really long time coming, and let's just see how awesome he is. This figure came with a lot of 7 figures that I got in the mail today. The Golden Angel Predator, 2 of the Snake Alien, 2 of the Scorpion Alien, and 2 of the Kenner Apone. Alright, well now that we got this figure out of the package, here he is with all of his accessories. In this video we're going to take a look at the figure, his accessories, his height, his articulation, and a ton of comparison photos with other figures. Now there's so much I want to say about this guy. I had this guy as a kid. I was a huge fan of the Aliens film. It's my favorite film since I've been about 6 years old. The first film is starting to grow on me more and more over the years. The gap is getting closer, but I still absolutely love Aliens. As a kid, I had the Kenner figure, and it always kind of bugged me that he was so different. Both him and Bishop were just so different from their movie counterparts. He has this robotic arm, it's just absolutely amazing. Let's check out this figure. His face, honestly, I mean, it looks kind of like Al Matthews. I don't know if, maybe I'm crazy. I know they don't have his likeness rights, but I think this is so cool. It would really make a nice Apone figure. I'm probably not going to end up destroying this guy to do that, but I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, no bugs on his shirt. Now, God, that's just hilarious. One little line in the film, where I think it was Hicks that said sounds like a bug hunt, and it spawned this whole huge thing, no bugs, bug killers, and different media and whatnot. I think maybe on the plane it also said bug squasher or something like that. Anyway, here's the figure. Red baseball cap just like the original figure, sort of radio piece on his ear, soft material. Oh, this robotic arm is so weird. They made it out of soft, bendable material, which is so nice because, boy, it probably would have already broken, but these hydraulics or piston actually sort of functions. But it's made of soft material so it can bend. The power loader I had, God, I don't know which one it is, broke pretty much immediately on the back and really upset me. Such an expensive piece, but it was all hard plastic and that stuff really wasn't very durable. I love the approach they took with this guy. I think it's going to make it so it won't break. It also pops out very easily. We'll get to all that in a little bit. No bugs, yellow shirt, looking really nice. Love the face sculpt, super crisp paint job. Robotic arm, maybe you wish I had the Kenner Terminator to put those next to each other. Green pants, armor on the boots. Backside, it's got areas that look like would attach something. We'll see a little bit if his accessories work that way. He looks so much like the figure. Boy, I'm getting almost goosebumps from the nostalgia of this guy. Alright, well here are all of his accessories. This Apone comes with a comic, Dark Horse Comics, and a series of comics that intertwine and are connected into a story from all these Kenner figures. It came with the original line, a shotgun type item, and 2 sticky bombs. So the comic here, I'm not going to take out the plastic right now. You're getting them out of order. This is number 3. Obviously, it's continued with number 4. I have, I think, 3 of these from the previous Kenner wave. I'm betting this is identical to the one from the original Kenner figure from actual Dark Horse Comics. I think it's really cool. And inside of it, he also comes with a sticker set. The original figure came with a sticker set to add stickers to his armor and whatnot and sort of customize him. I don't know if you're actually intended to use these. I'm probably not going to bother just because I feel like they won't be on there quite as tight as I'd like. I don't want them peeling off and deal with all that stuff. I don't know. We'll see over time. Really cool item. I'm going to put one of the other ones and eventually give him a read. So next we've got his shotgun. Really nice looking weapon. I must say, I have the original shotgun over here, and this was how it looked compared to each other. So, you know what? I'm cool with it. It's a nice upgrade, and it keeps the same sort of style and feel going from the original one. This original one had a little peg hole, and it could fit into the side of him here. The original Kenner Apone. This one has a strap so he can holster it as well. Here he is holding the shotgun with his left hand, the non-robotic hand. It seemed the most appropriate one, as he's going to use that hand to throw his sticky bombs. I must say that I did try to put the gun into his robotic hand here, and it didn't really work. The butt of the gun was sort of pushing and interfering with some of these mechanical pieces and kind of warping them, so it doesn't really work in that hand. Just FYI, you can get it in there though. And here it is holstered on his shoulder. Now when I got this gun and opened it up, I did like what it looked like, but I thought to myself, this does look kind of familiar. And I don't just mean that because I got 2 Apones and 2 sets of accessories, but this accessory is definitely identical to this one. This is a previous NECA release. It came with a Terminator Genesis, older T800 figure. You can see they're pretty much identical. This one may have an ever so slightly different paint scheme. Looks like this top part is black, where this one is silver, but it is the exact same gun. But you know what? I think it works pretty good for replacing this gun. I'm not going to hate on NECA for doing that, but did just want to point that out. They just took an old sculpt and reused it, but it does match his figure really nicely in my opinion. Here he is with the original figure that came with the weapon. So you can see here, I always had a problem with this Arnold guy. He just wasn't like designed right to hold this weapon. Kind of bothers me. And then just FYI, this Apone does not come with a trigger finger, so this is how he'll have to hold the weapon. And here are all 3 of the shotguns next to each other. And then just because, here's Apone holding the Kenner small version shotgun. Absolute garbage compared to the new one. The next accessory to look at are his sticky bombs. Now I don't seem to have the original Kenner Apone sticky bombs, which is odd because I've located 2 of those Kenner figures that I have. I'm honestly not 100% sure how I obtained them. Probably a lot of loose Kenner Alien figures. When the NECA figures first came out, I was really trying to get some face huggers, so I bought some old Kenner figures for that purpose. This is definitely not the same Kenner figures from when I actually was a kid. That's probably somewhere in my parents' attic in a box. Anyway, these are pretty cool. The old ones were pretty basic, just one solid color, and were made with some soft rubber. The original Kenner Apone had an action feature where his arm would be able to, you sort of twist his torso and it would snap his arm back in place and he would be able to presumably fling these sticky bombs. Must say I'm not super impressed with these. They came with this other piece and I was like, what is this? I thought maybe it was like a wire that would connect on his arm to another place on his arm. And I'm looking like, where do they connect these? Does it make it longer? Like, what do you do? And after messing with these for a while, the top part comes off. And there's a place to, little peg and a peg hole on both these items. And you can make them even longer. Make sure you push in there all the way. It's really easy to not quite get that in there and then it won't stay well. And then they're even longer, and he can throw them, and they're sort of bendable in here. Here's Apone holding both of the sticky bombs with both hands when they're in the shorter position. And then here he is with his sticky bombs in their extended pose. Let's take this small Kenner Apone and see if the action feature still works. Boom. And then here are the two sticky bombs in the extended pose with two in the shorter mode. And here's the comic compared to all the different Neca Kenner homage comics that we've received. We now have 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 11. I'm definitely under the impression that Kenner, or Neca rather, is going to try to get to all the Kenner stuff ever made over the next many, many years. Now that we've taken a pretty in-depth look at his accessories, let's check out the height of this figure. So this is a Neca figure. They're typically the 7-inch scale, a little bit on the larger side of things. So this guy here looks like he's going to measure up right around 6.5 inches. Next, let's check out his articulation. So, of course, his head, it can go around, it can go down pretty far and up. His hat is made of a sort of soft rubber. You can see it can kind of be bent. So is his sort of radio earpiece, soft rubber. It's not going to break, which is pretty nice. His arms go out about that far. No bicep cut. Single jointed elbow, but it has a swivel as well. Wrist goes around. Has a little tiny little bit of a hinge on it. So we got this arm here. This is made of soft rubber, like I said before, preventing it from breaking. As you move it around, you can see the sort of robotic piece sort of moves up and down on his arm. It has some give and flexibility, so it's not going to break. One of the first things that happened when I messed with this figure, I took it and the piece sort of popped out up here. It prevents it from breaking. I like that it's able to do that, and you can pop it right back in with ease. If this was made 3 years ago by Neca or 5 years ago, this thing would have probably broken by now. The whole thing is soft. It's just so weird the way it moves, and it has an actual sort of functioning hydraulic piece here. Really cool. He has an ab crunch, doesn't really do too much, but does allow him to go up and down. Then he has apparently no waist swivel, which is fine. His legs can go out almost completely 90 degrees. They can go up as well. They're kind of done with that standard Neca where the leg and the joint kind of move separately. He's got double joint knees, but they're done very interestingly. Here's his knee armor. So like this, and the other part is sort of at the bottom here, so that's about as far as you'll get him to go. But kind of interesting how there's a piece between there, a pretty large piece at that. And then his feet, of course, they can go around. They do tilt a little bit, and go up and down pretty decent as well. Pretty nicely articulated, if you ask me. Next, let's see how different he is than Junior over here. So their heads, very similar. Of course, everything is crazy more detailed than the Neca version. His chest piece, no bugs. Once again, just so much more detailed here with Neca. This here is sort of a soft material, can kind of be moved around a little bit. It's attached down here as well as down here. So in the back here, I never did get to check that out earlier. Can anything kind of, I don't know why what would you do with this? It doesn't seem like it has any sort of function. Not sure what that would do back there. There's nothing on the shotgun to put it back there either. I don't know. I was kind of thinking that these would somehow attach inside of there. Really nothing seems to, I don't know. Please put in the comments if you see anything that's obvious that I'm missing about that. Anyway, the pants, similar color. The boots and the knee and the little armor here, very similar. But God, just love the way Neca sort of interprets and redesigns these characters. I just absolutely love putting their spin on it. Some figure companies do that and kind of mess everything up, but boy, Neca just hits a home run every time. And like I said before, I have 2 of these Neca and 2 Kenner Apones. Here's the whole family. Looks like this one here has a couple of stickers on it. I see the ace of spades up here and his name Apone down there. I definitely don't feel like Neca intended you to actually use those stickers, but maybe I'm wrong. I just couldn't see myself putting Apone here. But then again, who knows if the original owner actually applied the stickers in the right place or not. Here's Apone next to the rest of this wave. Series 13, we got the Snake Alien, Apone, and the Scorpion Alien. Here he is next to my custom Apone that I made many years ago. This was made with a Windrix body. I believe that body was originally designed to make Apone, but they were unable to secure the license rights. That is at least what I read at the time. He had sort of the sergeant's outfit, the same long sleeves, and came with a flamethrower. I can see some of the paint chipping off his hands. This guy is many, many years old. But you can see the two heads kind of compared. This guy's kind of a mean, angry sort of looking face. I thought it worked pretty good. Kind of looked like Apone, Al Matthews. This was the head that I used to make my custom Apone. I believe it's Caesar from the Expendables. I cut off the back of his hat and put a helmet on him, and it really wasn't that hard. Of course, I had to repaint Windrix to sort of match the skin tone. If you wanted to try something like this yourself, you would have to take a Windrix figure, a helmet, put his head on top of it, and then repaint him brown. It's really as simple as that. Yeah, if you want to go the extra mile and customize his armor, that's really difficult. I did not bother doing that myself. One issue you will encounter if you are trying to do this is you will have to rip this thing off the side of Apone's head, and although it is not actually attached at the bottom of his face, he's definitely not going to have a full ear sculpt under there, and I don't think his helmet would cover all that up. This is a rough approximation of what you would get. Of course, you'd have to fully remove this, which I'm not willing to do yet, and it does cover up his hat. His ear would be a little bit of an issue. We have to sculpt just a little bit of something. The top and the bottom are started. The middle is just sort of absent. Do think it makes a good Apone if you're willing to just take an easy route to do it. I definitely would be, but I'm pretty content with the custom Apone that I have, so I'm not really willing to destroy this figure for that purpose, at least not at this particular moment in time. Here is the Kenner collection of humans so far. They've also shown us a Drake Kenner figure that's upcoming. Super excited for him. That leaves, I believe, Hicks, Hudson, Bishop, as far as characters they've actually made Kenner-wise. And then I would love an Atex and Amalia. They could do some really cool things with those guys, I think. And then here he is with the entire Neca Kenner Aliens collection. We've got the light blue Kenner Alien, Scorpion Alien, Snake Alien, Mantis Alien, Gorilla Alien, and the black Alien from an Alien vs. Predator Kenner homage 2-pack, and of course the three humans in the front. Here are all the different official movie figures they've actually made from Aliens. They've made 8 of the possible 16 figures that I would love for them to eventually accomplish. Slide in your Kenner Apone here, one step closer to having a full squad. Of course, you can also use the pretty easy custom recipe that I shared with you. I think it'll work great to add him to your ranks. If they do make an Apone figure, it looks like it's at least 3+ years away. Here are all the officially licensed NECA Marines they've made, at least in the movie colors. Here's Windrix, not from the movie, then Frost, then unhelmeted Hudson, helmeted Hudson, unhelmeted Hicks, helmeted Hicks, Final Battle Vasquez, Vasquez with her smart gun, and then Colonel Cameron, who is also not from the movie. Add an Apone, one more for the Marine ranks. Here he is next to a bunch of custom Marines for my collection. Just a small piece of what we got going on over here. Here he is next to a couple of Ultimate Xenomorphs from the Aliens film that were released in recent history. They're quite a bit taller than him, as they should be. And here he is blasting one of them into pieces. Here he is next to a couple of Ultimate Predator figures. And then here he is next to a couple of Engineer figures. All in all, I must say I am very pleased with this figure. The execution is absolutely stellar, and for me personally, who had this figure as a kid, it really hits home for me. I had it, I played Aliens a ton, reenacted part of the movie. This figure here, his paint job is excellent. The way they've upgraded him from his original basic look to this adult collector detailed look, I just love what NECA is doing with these guys. I personally would give this figure probably an 8.5 out of 10 because he's just so nice. I probably would give him a 9 out of 10 if I didn't want the movie Apone so bad and would have preferred to have the movie version over this. Do hope eventually we'll get that guy. I do think NECA will come through eventually somehow with him. So it's D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, please press like below. If you want to see additional videos from me, please press subscribe. Look out for the reviews from the rest of this wave coming real soon. If you have anything you want to say about the video, put in the comment section below. Once again, thank you for watching. This is D Hunter, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.